Hey everyone, Nubkeks here. So as you might have already heard, I wanted to wait until the Heroes Deep Dive panel to make this video. But Orphea, she is the new hero coming to Heroes of the Storm, revealed and announced here at BlizzCon 2018. She's the first Nexus-based hero, so that is a hero written, created, invented, purely out of the Heroes of the Storm universe and lore, not coming from one of the other franchises like Warcraft or Diablo or what have you. Now, one of the big questions people have been asking, we'll get to her gameplay and her kit in a minute here, but I just want to dive into this first, which is, well, do we even want a Nexus-specific hero instead of having heroes from other Blizzard games? Personally, at the start of the year, when we were kind of getting hints that this was coming, I was kind of against it. I was kind of skeptical. I'll say that now, having seen Orphea, I'm actually quite on board with it. I think that she's awesome, especially visually, and in terms of her gameplay design, I think she looks absolutely incredible. So yeah, I'd actually like to see even more cool story stuff from Blizzard and Heroes based on that. I mean, just for example, look at Storm and the Storm trailer we had. That was incredible. I'd love to see more stuff from that universe in HOTS. I think there's a ton of potential there, and I wouldn't be against seeing more of these type of heroes in the future. Unfortunately, just in the Q&A at the end of the Heroes Deep Dive, it does seem like, certainly for the next year, for the near future, for their plans, Blizzard is not going to do this again, though.
Would we ever do this again? I'm not going to say no, but our priority, I think, is to get back to business, bringing in heroes we know the community wants.
So yeah, I'm curious what you guys think, and then I'm probably even more curious what we think about a month from now when we've actually got to play this hero in the game and see how she fits in. So yeah, kind of my thoughts on that. Let's dive into the gameplay of Orphea then, because this is where things get really flashy. She is essentially a very mobile, self-healing, AoE damage mage. Her trait, which kind of ties everything together, is Overflowing Chaos. This is basically, if you think of the Chromie rework and how they baked Bronze Talents into her kit, this is essentially the rich man's version of poor Chromie's version of it, which seems really bad in comparison. But this is Overflowing Chaos. Whenever you hit an enemy hero with an ability, you get 1 Chaos, which can stack up to 3 times, and then whenever you basic attack, it will consume all of that chaos to do bonus damage per stack and to heal you for the damage done. And yeah, I think it adds a nice cadence to her kit of weaving basic attacks in between your damaging abilities and between your mobility stuff. Let's touch on mobility next. So her Q ability is called Shadow Waltz. This is essentially a line skill shot that does damage to anyone caught in that line, and crucially, if you hit a hero with Shadow Waltz, it sets the cooldown to 2 seconds, gives you some mana back, and it gives you a dash the next time you move. So basically, you hit a hero with the ability, reduces the cooldown to 2 seconds, and then if I click up, I'll dash up. If I click left, I'll dash left, and so on and so forth. So it gives you that control over the dash, but it is dependent on actually hitting a hero with an ability. So for example, this means that she'll be more vulnerable in dive type situations than heroes that can just kind of dash on command. You got that extra bit of pressure, but especially when you're going aggressive, you could get a ton of dashes off. Her W ability Chomp does, it's kind of like a thick AoE in front of her, short, thick AoE that does very, very heavy damage. So that's her big hard hitting ability. And you can see the synergies of Shadow Waltzing in, Chomp, Shadow Waltz to dash back out. Then her E ability, a bit more of a pokey one, is called Dread, which sends out a line skill shot, does light damage, and then at the end, it will blow up 0.75 seconds later, doing a heavier chunk of damage and applying a little bit of a slow as well. So yeah, you can kind of already see, a little bit of a gameplay loop there. Poke them in with Dread, maybe even slow them down, hit them with the Shadow Waltz, waltz in with the dash, hit them with the Chomp, bam, basic attack with that 3 stack of Overflowing Chaos, big burst of damage, bit of self-healing if you took some damage going in, then another Shadow Waltz with their reduced cooldown, jump back out again, wait for cooldowns, rinse and repeat. So yeah, I mean, it looks like a super fun gameplay style. 2 heroics then. Number 1 is called Eternal Feast. So after a 1.5 second delay, it starts doing damage every second in an area, and so long as it damages a hero, it will just repeat. So this one's pretty interesting, very dependent on your teammates, I would say. I mean, the big thing for me is maybe, okay, the area zone control is pretty useful because you are ultimately a squishy mage who's looking to get fairly close into the fight to chomp on people. So having the Eternal Feast as a bit of a zone control thing could be kind of useful, but ultimately at the same time, you're kind of reliant on teammates to use their CC to lock people into that feast. Her other heroic then is called Crushing Jaws. So after 1.25 seconds, in a rectangular area, you'll pull enemies in towards the center, do a big chunk of damage, and then stun them for 0.75 seconds. So obviously super impactful team fighting tool here, which sets up combos with Orphea's own abilities and also teammates' AoE abilities too. So yeah, that's her kit. Like I said, she'll be on the PTR next week, so bam, on the channel basically as soon as I can. Once that goes live, we will be on there. We will record a video. We'll get that video up. In fact, we might even do 2 videos. We might even do 3 videos. Certainly when she goes on the live servers, we'll jump into ranked and we'll get you some high-level ranked gameplay of Orphea as well. So all of that to stay tuned for. Initial impressions though is that she looks incredibly fun to play as, and just visually they absolutely knocked it out of the park. Also worth noting that if you are attending BlizzCon, well hello, hope you're having a great time. Or if like me, you're watching with a virtual ticket, you'll get Orphea for free. She'll be on the shop, I assume, as all other heroes are for anyone who does not have a BlizzCon pass. But yeah, let me know what you think of your first impressions of Orphea. Personally, I think they did an amazing job. You know, the idea of creating a Nexus specific hero, like why would you do it? The idea is that, well, when you take a hero like, let's say, Grom Hellscream, I mean, they couldn't give this kit to Grom Hellscream. It just, that would be a bit weird, right? Doesn't make sense. So a Nexus specific hero is one that they can create entirely new abilities for. They can create an entire new art style for, and just create the exact hero that they want with no real limitations. I think Orphea is a really good example, from what I can see, of that working out incredibly well. But yeah, there you go, guys. Stay tuned for more BlizzCon coverage for the Heroes of the Storm stuff. It'll be up real soon. Thanks for watching, and yeah, talk to you guys soon. Bye-bye.